With Turki alalshikh making it happen, the stage is set for an electrifying clash between Joe Cordina's relentless ambition and Shakur Stevenson's tactical brilliance. Meanwhile, boxing promoter Eddie Hearn claims Joe Cordina is eager to fight Shakur Stevenson, but recognizes the significant challenge of moving up a weight class.
Yeah, I've spoken to Joe about fighting Shakur Stevenson. Joe's up for it, but he also understands the challenge. Ideally moving up a weight division.
Eddie Hearn reveals that Cordina is driven by an intense desire to dive straight into the most high-stakes bouts. This determination speaks to Cordina's relentless quest for greatness, even when it means facing formidable challenges head-on. Hearn added, Joe is at the age where he wants to be involved in the biggest fights in the sport, and if he feels like the opportunity is right, I'm sure he would take it. Former professional boxer Paulie Malignaggi is outraged that Shakur Stevenson might face Joe Cordina instead of Tank Davis, assuming Davis's team is avoiding negotiations.
I suppose when Josh Dubin, the advisor for Team Stevenson, said our phone lines are open and we're waiting for Team Davis to go and negotiate, I'm assuming that that call never came. That's what I have to assume. The fact that Stevenson is going to now negotiate with Cordina when all the clamor has been about Davis, I'm assuming here that the call never came from Team Davis.
Malignaggi is frustrated that Stevenson's next opponent is Cordina, who is moving up in weight and coming off a recent loss. Malignaggi believes this fight lacks the excitement and significance of a showdown between top champions like Stevenson and Tank Davis. He sees it as a missed opportunity for a blockbuster event and feels that if negotiations for Davis have stalled, it's a letdown for boxing fans. Malignaggi expresses his discontent with how boxing politics might be influencing the matchup choices. He's concerned that the focus should be on the big fight everyone wants to see, which is Davis versus Stevenson. To him, the prospect of Stevenson fighting Cordina instead feels like a letdown and a diversion from the thrilling clash that would truly captivate the boxing world. Malignaggi added, I hope Davis doesn't become the new Canelo. I hope that he actually goes and makes this fight. Similarly, former professional boxer Chris Algieri expresses disappointment with the potential Shakur Stevenson versus Joe Cordina fight, noting that Cordina's recent loss and weight change make the matchup less exciting.
Honestly, like you said, champ, Cordina coming off a loss, coming up a weight class to his first time fighting at 135, coming off of a bad knockout loss to fight Shakur Stevenson, who is just a fantastic fighter, great technician, and it doesn't really matter in terms of the layout of the 135-pound division for Shakur Stevenson. So, yeah, and in terms of Davis and Shakur happening, champ, don't hold your breath.
Furthermore, boxing commentator Jim Lampley claims that Shakur Stevenson is choosing to prioritize winning over entertaining, leading to less exciting fights but ensuring his victories.
How much am I going to stick to the mantra that my trainer has taught me, the approach that my intelligent understanding of boxing has given to me and taught to me, and accept the fact that maybe somewhere I'm going to hear boos in the background or disapproval from some fans or get ripped for it on the web when I leave the ring. Shakur Stevenson is choosing to win. And so far, in choosing to win, he's getting less entertaining.
Jim Lampley discusses Shakur Stevenson's approach to his fights. Lampley points out that this strategy has led to some criticism from fans who find his fights less exciting. Lampley brings up a potential fight with Tank Davis, emphasizing the challenge Stevenson would face in avoiding Davis's powerful left hand. He questions whether Stevenson can maintain his defensive strategy and still succeed against such a formidable opponent. Lampley further explains that fans are eager to see more aggressive and thrilling performances. He highlights the tension between fighting smart and entertaining the audience, noting that fans are generally not interested in a fighter who avoids risks to secure a win. Lampley added, nobody wants to see Shakur Stevenson go in and play chess with a tabby cat. They want to see him fight. Former professional boxer Juan Manuel Marquez admits that Stevenson is a great fighter, but suggests that he needs to face higher-level opponents to truly showcase his skills.
He needs different opponents on the ring, another levels opponents. I don't know what happened with Shakur Stevenson is a good fighter, but what happened with his fight? What happened with Edwin de los Santos?
Marquez paints a picture of what boxing should be, a fierce, adrenaline-fueled spectacle that leaves fans breathless. He's talking about those moments when the crowd is on its feet, roaring with excitement, as two warriors trade blows in the center of the ring. For Marquez, it's not enough to be just a defensive genius, to hit and not get hit. He's lived it himself, Marquez recalls his battles, where he had to adapt, to not just outthink his opponents, but to engage in a way that brought the crowd to life. He remembers the rush of taking calculated risks, of putting it all on the line not just to win, but to do so in a way that left an indelible mark on the sport. It's about more than just victory. It's about making history in every round, turning a fight into a spectacle that people talk about for years. Marquez added, "In the sport of boxing, every fighter needs to offer something more than just skill. They need to entertain. The crowd wants to see a show, not just a clinic in defense. And if you can give them that, if you can make them feel that rush, they'll keep coming back, they'll pay more, and they'll follow your career to the top. That's how you grow, not just as a fighter, but as a star." Contrastingly, former footballer LaShawn McCoy-Shady defends Shakur Stevenson against criticism, acknowledging his unique style and success.
Shakur's badass, bro. I mean, people might not like his style, but one thing they can't, he's winning. So, like, if y'all better than me and I'm boring, beat me, right? And the object of fighting is to get hit. To hit and don't get hit. That's what he does best.
Shady McCoy passionately argues that the art of boxing isn't just about brute force. It's about skill, intelligence, and strategy. For Shady, Shakur embodies all of these traits. While many fans might crave explosive knockouts, Shakur's mastery lies in his ability to outmaneuver opponents, making it nearly impossible for them to land a clean hit. Shady is genuinely puzzled by the criticism Shakur faces. To him, Shakur's ability to avoid punches while still dominating his opponents is a testament to his high-level boxing IQ. But what excites Shady is the fact that Shakur isn't just a defensive genius. He's also a fighter who continues to win as he moves up through different weight classes. This ability to maintain his edge, despite facing bigger and stronger opponents, is what makes Shakur elite in Shady's eyes. And the fact that so many fighters are hesitant to face Shakur only adds to his legend. Shady sees this as a clear sign that Shakur is a force to be reckoned with, someone who is feared in the boxing community not just for his skills, but for his ability to make even the toughest fighters think twice before stepping into the ring with him. Shady added, "Shakur's reflexes are off the charts. He's like a cat in the ring, able to anticipate and dodge punches with ease. He makes it look effortless, but that's the result of incredible skill and dedication." Shady acknowledges that while many might prefer the explosive power of fighters like Gervonta, Tank Davis, Shakur's defensive genius is what makes him extraordinary. Shady highlights how Shakur's ability to stay unscathed while dismantling his opponent's strategies is a rare and invaluable skill. To Shady, Shakur isn't just another boxer. He's an elite-level strategist whose style might not always thrill the crowd, but it certainly commands respect and awe in the world of boxing. Similarly, former boxer Zab Judah dismisses criticism of Shakur's style, comparing him to Pernell Whitaker, who faced similar critiques despite his exceptional technique.
To me, that doesn't really, mean anything big. I grew up with Pernell Whitaker. I remember Pernell Whitaker winning fights, and they booing him. They booed him, said he was boring, he didn't do enough, but he did everything right. You know what I'm saying? Shakur Stevenson right now, I feel like he does everything right. So sometimes when he does everything right.
Zab Judah describes the mindset of the average boxing fan versus the true expert of the sport. He speaks to the allure of knockouts and the primal excitement that comes with watching a fighter dismantle their opponent with raw power. Judah understands that many fans crave that visceral thrill, the kind of spectacle that leaves them on the edge of their seats, fists clenched, waiting for that decisive blow. He notes that this is why some may find Shakur Stevenson's style underwhelming or boring. Stevenson's approach to boxing, while less flashy, is a masterclass in precision and discipline. He doesn't just fight to win, he fights to outthink, outmaneuver, and ultimately outclass his opponent, adhering strictly to the time-honored principles of boxing. Judah draws a clear line between the expectations of different kinds of fans. For those who appreciate the artistry of the sport, the strategy, the footwork, the defense, Stevenson is a marvel to watch. These fans understand the beauty of hitting and not getting hit, a concept that's at the very heart of boxing. They respect the patience and control it takes to dominate a fight without relying on sheer force. Judah's tone suggests that Stevenson, much like the legends before him, might not be for everyone, but for those who truly understand boxing, his style is nothing short of brilliant. Judah added, "Sometimes when you do everything right and you stick to the rules and the fundamentals of boxing, hit and not be hit. That's what people that are used to seeing knockouts and people that used to seeing barbaric things, they're going to look forward to seeing a knockout happen. And when a knockout doesn't happen, then they're disappointed." Adding to the debate, boxing analyst AKOYE criticizes Shakur Stevenson's performance.
I feel the same way I felt before about it. Like I said, first off, just addressing Shakur and the things he's up against when it comes to the media and the way they're tearing his ass up a little bit, Cam and Mace and all that other. It's like this, man. The response is what's killing him. Like, he's looking too much into it because people got the right to feel the way they feel about your performance. I remember when Floyd fought Baltimore, they thought that wasn't it. Or when he fought Castillo the first time and broke his hand, You know, nobody knows he has a broken hand, but they look at those matches like, you know, these matches could be better, right? So for every one of those, Floyd has an electrifying win too. You know what I mean? So I think Shakur, he's looking too much into it and kind of listening to the naysayers a little bit too much.
AKOYE commends Shakur Stevenson for his technical boxing prowess and southpaw stance, describing him as a pure boxer with the skills and movement that make him challenging to defeat. Stevenson's ability to maintain distance and execute his boxing technique effectively is highlighted as a key strength. However, AKOYE notes a critical limitation in Stevenson's approach, his lack of knockout power, or pop. This absence of a powerful punch means Stevenson might struggle to impose his will on opponents or deter them with the threat of a knockout. He remarked, "I look at Shakur as a pure boxer and a pure boxer that can move as a southpaw. That's hard to beat, man. It's hard to beat, but when you don't have a lot of pop or you don't really mix it up." Furthermore, professional boxer Greg Hackett comments on Shakur Stevenson's unusual silence for Gervonta Davis fight.
It might be signs of that fight might be getting made.
You know, you got some fans that saying, "Oh yeah, why Shakur ain't talking? Shakur about to duck."
Yeah.
I realize dudes get real quiet when real talk start to happen.
Yeah.
There's no reason to go black.
Yeah. Also though, Shakur, he might be taking advice from the people, and he planning on keeping quiet this fight. Keeping quiet because, you know what? I said a lot of things in the past, and I didn't keep my word. But he said enough about Tank, and we know enough about him and Tank that we know this is going to be a great fight if they fight. Keyshawn might be taking the stance of Shakur might be taking the stance of a monk this fight.
Greg Hackett delves into why Shakur Stevenson might maintain a low profile regarding a potential fight with Gervonta Davis. Hackett suggests that Stevenson's silence could be a calculated move, possibly advised by his team, to avoid repeating past mistakes of overpromising and under-delivering. By staying quiet, Stevenson might be aiming to build anticipation and maintain focus, allowing negotiations and strategic planning to proceed without external pressure. Hackett added, "Shakur Stevenson has been unseasonably quiet about the Gervonta Davis fight. You got some fans are saying, why Shakur ain't talking?" Hackett views this approach positively, arguing that if Stevenson remains reserved and avoids unnecessary public commentary, it could lead to a more exciting and well-prepared fight. This strategic quietness could help Stevenson manage expectations and ensure that when he does engage, it adds significant value to the build-up and eventual showdown. Hackett identifies perfect timing for the Shakur Stevenson versus Gervonta Davis fight, as both are at their best.
In this hiatus,
Yeah.
you got Williams Zepeda, you got Shakur. Frank just, lost the Tank.
Yeah.
Williams Zepeda, Shakur. Ryan's all for a year. I'm trying to think who else you got at 35.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's that guy, Barenchik, but...
Yeah, Barenchik.
I don't know.
Who should get that fight next?
I mean, I think it should definitely be taking Shakur fighting because, to me, that's the second best fight you can make in boxing right now. So I would love to see that fight. I would love to see that fight. That would make me feel great about the sport of boxing again. I would be really excited if they fought each other, especially now. And now is the time.
Greg Hackett explores how a fight between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis could be particularly advantageous for Stevenson. He notes that Davis's recent performances have disappointed some fans, which might make Davis vulnerable. Hackett suggests that this is an ideal opportunity for Stevenson to make a significant impact. He added, "He could pull a Harry Houdini. Maybe now you turn everybody in the fence. If he does something and maybe now you turn everybody in the fence." By fighting Davis now, Stevenson could seize the moment to impress fans and critics alike, potentially improving his standing in the sport. Hackett views this situation as a chance for Stevenson to make a strong statement and elevate his profile, especially if he can outperform expectations. He emphasizes that a well-executed performance against Davis could not only enhance Stevenson's reputation, but also capture the attention of boxing fans who might currently be skeptical. Additionally, in a tweet on X, Michael Benson officially announced the full undercard for the Artur Beterbiev versus Dimitri Bivol fight on October 12th in Saudi Arabia. Key matchups include Shakur Stevenson versus Joe Cordina, Chris Eubank Jr. versus Kamil Cerameta, and Fabio Wardley versus Fraser Clark II. So what are your thoughts about this situation? Do let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.